So, this podcast is very special because I worked as an intern on the film with you, and now you're here on our hot seat. Ads or films? Where's the real drama?
Films. Yeah. मेरी ही गलती
उठा ले रे देवा उठा ले रे बाबा
Raju Irani waited for years to get Shah Rukh or whoever to do the film. But after years, she said कि बड़ी गुरु संजीत was supposed to meant to do Dambai.
तेरे को बेड की पड़ी है। तेरे को कैसे मालूम कि जागने की उम्मीद नहीं है? हाँ?
अरे क्योंकि मैं एक डॉक्टर हूँ।
तू भगवान तो नहीं ना? क्या तू उनके भेजे में घुसा था? तू क्या एक रख के?
We just met Chichwaria. Do you like it? This is I'm talking about Mr. Nitish Tiwari, one of the most influential directors of our time. First few minutes, I couldn't believe it. Thankfully, I had great producers to back me with what my vision was. Sir Roy Kapoor, Ronnie Screwwala, and I have nothing against this. Don't take yourself too serious. अब rocket में उड़ा रहे.
He's the director of Tumse Na Ho Payega, a film that connects with every dreamer who's been told you can't. He's the voice of the young. Welcoming Mr. Abhishek Sinha. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Messi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for doing this podcast with us. So, this podcast is very special because I worked as an intern on the film with you, and now you're here on our hot seat, on our podcast.
It says the tables have turned.
So, thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you.
So growing up in Bihar,
Yeah.
cinema was never on your bucket list.
Sure.
It was always cricket.
Correct.
How did the story from the pitch come to the pitch?
Yeah, so actually very nicely put, Messi. I think when I was growing up and like in my backyard when I used to play cricket, और हमेशा से यही था यार कि कुछ ऐसा करना है जिससे लोग जाने मुझे. लोग ऐसा कुछ नहीं करना है कि एक ऐसी नौकरी नहीं करनी है, ऐसा करियर नहीं बनाना है जिसमें आप क्या कर रहे हो सिर्फ आपको पता है. आप ऐसा कुछ काम करो या कुछ ऐसा करो जिससे लोग आपको जाने. सो क्रिकेट के लिए भी एक स्पोर्ट्स के लिए वो एक मोटिवेशन इसलिए था कि अगर आप खेलते हो और आप अच्छा खेलते हो तो चाहे आप अपने क्लब के लिए खेलो, स्टेट के लिए खेलो, कंट्री के लिए खेलो, तो यू आर डूइंग अ जॉब वेयर इट इज seen by others, where it's cherished by others, where it's enjoyed by others. So the reason for me at that time when I was growing up, I was little immature to understand this also, कि what exactly I want from life. But at that time मेरे को ये लगता है यार कुछ ऐसा करना है कि लोग मुझे जाने, लोग मेरे काम की वजह से मुझे जाने. Yeah, so from that motivation, I always thought whenever I was picking up choices in my career, like what I want to do. And being a commerce grad, I was like कि यार इससे तो मुझे वो काम करना नहीं मिलेगा शायद कि मैं ऐसा कुछ कर सकूं जिससे लोग मुझे जानेंगे. तो करते 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 वो एडवर्टाइजिंग आई लाइफ में कि आप जो काम कर रहे हो आपके काम दिख रहा है, लोग आपके काम को देख रहे हैं, सराह रहे हैं. एंड उसके बाद फिल्म अपने आप एक अलग रास्ता. एक्चुअली आई विल से कि फिल्म got me into film industry or films got me myself into it rather than I choosing films.
Right.
Films chose me. So
Nicely put.
yeah.
But sir, can you recall that very moment or that very day or that very time or something where you felt कि no, I think films are calling me or ads are calling me or the media is calling me?
So I actually my family is very academic driven family, and in my house everybody is like master degree holder. And my parents used to believe the same, that ki minimum education you need is master. So I also moved to Bombay to do MBA.
Yeah.
And while I was preparing for MBA and I was trying to get into an MBA college, I did one very short advertising course, and there somebody like one of my professor told me that you know what, you have a very good you got a great mind to think, like you think very differently, you have you got a knack in thinking differently, so why don't you try advertising? And I think that's something which stayed with me, and that what I thought कि हाँ यार ये काम थोड़ा अलग है, इसको कर ट्राई कर सकते हैं. And I just wanted to try it, and I just fell in love with it. So,
And so, do you recall which was your first ad?
my first ad was for Hutch. I used to work on a brand called Hutch, which is Vodafone now.
Okay.
It used to be Hutch, and very initially there was one Rahul Dravid used to be Indian team captain that time, and he used to be brand ambassador for Hutch. And there was a series coming up, and on that time, Rahul, there was a contest where you send an SMS and you get to meet Rahul Dravid.
Oh.
As simple as that. And I did an ad. I wrote couple of ads for that, and finally it got done, and it came, and I got to meet my hero like Rahul Dravid.
Oh, you met him.
Yeah, so I met a couple of times, and that was my first time meeting him. He was India team captain that time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for me, more than having that excitement of getting an ad out or getting an ad made for what I have written, I was more excited to meet.
So as you said, you started off your journey with advertising, and
Yeah.
you worked with brands like Pepsi, Cadbury, and so on.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that you had an advantage when you walked into films, or something that helped you stride your way into films because you had an advertising background?
Surely, I think that I had a little advantage because I understood the world.
Yeah.
Advertising helped me to prepare me to like get into films. It's not like preparation in a way that it taught me how film was, because they both are very different industry. They work very differently.
Right.
But advertising at least gave me that confidence, understanding of how it is. It's like अगर आप रणजी खेल रहे हो, तो आपको पता है जब आप कल टेस्ट खेलने जाओगे तो आप थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंट होगे कि आपने रणजी खेला है. In a way, if you have to put.
Yeah.
So it is not the same, as you say. The both international cricket and domestic cricket will not be the same, but it just gives you that inherent confidence that I know about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that kind of understanding of the world. Basics are almost the same in both ways, that you need to know your craft, you need to know how it functions. You have to be prepared. You prepare in both. Unlike in advertising, you prepare for 15 days. In films, you prepare for 4 months. So that's the difference. But yeah, I feel that there was an advantage, there was an edge that I came from advertising too. So film was an automatic pedestrian or shift which happened.
So, and also, what part of advertising did you have to unlearn when you were making your feature Tumse Na Ho Payega?
So most importantly, what are the advertising? What happens? You are 100% sure what has to be done
In ads.
in ads. The thing is that you have a brand, you have an ad commercial written by a team. It is written in a time span. It is written in a certain way. It's got a certain tonality. You are representing a brand. A brand has a certain tonality. So they are quite there's some outlines which has been drawn already, and it's a smaller format. Like you have to say a story in 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So you know how much you have to shoot, what you have to shoot. You understand all those things, and like maximum 4 to 5 axes you have to shoot in a day. So when you go to feature, you have to understand one thing, that it has to be free flowing in a way.
Okay.
A scene on paper may sound like that it's a 1 pager, it's a 1 minute scene or 2 minute, but in the flow when the actors are performing, it just goes and they bring on something. Or when you are in the environment, you have to take something from like where you are, how you want how you should choreograph this scene, how you want them to be. So there's more liberty when it comes to film. You don't have to, if the conversation is written about a couple, about two characters, you can decide them to stand, sit, do whatever, however you want to. So there's more to play in films, and there's more liberty, I would say. Advertising, you still work in a certain time frame, like in the frame, like this is what I have to say, this is how it has to come out, this is how the brand has to look. So there's some kind of borderline to it, Tomes.
So just to put it in simple terms, it would be that ads are more structured, and films have scope for experiment.
Correct.
And like an open canvas, you can play with
Correct.
colors over
Correct.
there. So which brings me to my another question. So ads are more like poems, where you have to summarize your emotions in a few lines.
Yeah.
Whereas films are more like stories where you can
Yes.
stretch them up to a few pages.
Correct.
And because you have experience of both these platforms, how do you weigh them against each other?
So they both are, I would say, they both have their own beauty towards it. Like in
Totally.
terms of the way it can approach, the way it happens. As you say, it's a day. Sometimes you love to read some poems and you romanticize them, and sometimes you want to just laze around with the story.
Mhm.
So they both have their own beauty towards it. Like if I have to weigh, the film is, when it comes to film, it is more time consuming, it's more challenging. It's in a way, because it's spanned in a long period of time. You have to keep yourself motivated and patient for that longer period.
Okay.
In advertising, what happens, it's a quick thing. It's like you are done in like 15 days. A project comes in, you have to be motivated for 1 week, 10 days. You work, you prep, you shoot, you do post, and you move on.
Yeah.
So I would say like film is a long love story,
Mm-hmm.
and advertising in a way is it's like
Dating.
flirting, dating that way. So it's like that. Like ads are still like going on dates, and films is like being in a relationship with them. That's how.
So, persistence and authenticity, they travel much further than privilege.
Yeah.
With no godfather, you made it so far in this industry. So when you look back, how do you describe your journey?
I still see it like I was fortunate to meet certain people on this path and my journey who actually, rightly said, I won't say godfather, but I will say there were the people who were there to at least show me the path or guide me through the journey, how to work around things and move forward in this path. So I think that instead of like, see, godfather is somebody who actually you think, I don't know how to put that. So for me, it was never. From initially when I started, from where I started, I always challenge myself whether why I can't do it. And
You have that self-drive.
yeah, when it comes to move to films also, and I was like, I've met people who are like really, really helpful to me. And when I went to them with asking questions, I never scared of being asking questions. Thankfully, I had people to give me answers. And that is very important when you have people who gives you right answers and right advices. You can call them mentors, you can call them godfathers. And I have been fortunate to have a couple of people around me to do that for me.
So, do you feel that every talent gets recognition in Bollywood?
Unfortunately, no. I'm not a great judge, and I won't be able to give you multiple examples about it. But I feel I don't know how I should define that, whether they get their recognition or not, because people get their share of chances, I feel. And sometimes it's fortunate, unfortunate, those chances has given them the result they wanted to be.
And you feel every person is fortunate enough to get a chance?
I feel that whoever gets their chance, see, like chance, you get like one small window. For I wouldn't say an artist or a technician, you get a window. Maybe you will not get a full-fledged thing. That window when you get, you have to open that window. You have to sneak yourself outside that window. You have to do whatever. You have to break the window, whatever. You have to use that in some way or the other. Because unfortunately, you don't get multiple chances in this industry. Sorry. Life still gives you a lot of chances. In life, you can fail again and again and again and again and again. Like that, there have been stories. There are people who have failed multiple times and still got successful. Life still allow you to give. I think life still is very, very considerate. They give, if one door is shut, they open others door for you. So there's still more chances in life than in your career or in this industry. In this industry, the problem is people get demotivated very early. and people lose focus or hope very early. Sometimes I feel. But there are stories people have stuck around and they have found success in life, who has worked and stayed there and been persistent about knocking the doors and taking the chances, and they have managed to. There's so many such stories. I'm too new to say this. People before me have done this multiple times and achieved it.
The firsts in our life are always very special. They're definitely not perfect, but they're unforgettable. They have that innocence which experience can never imitate. So, from the director's lens, how can we see Tumse Na Ho Payega? Tell us everything about it.
So I would say that I got really fortunate to have such a nice script in my hand, first of all.
Yeah, how did the journey begin from the very beginning?
So from the very beginning, I would say I know Nitesh for a very long time, who is the writer and also the co-producer of the film. So
This is Mr. Nitish Tiwari.
I'm talking about Mr. Nitish Tiwari, one of the most affluent directors of our time. So I know him, and this journey started like we used to work in advertising together, and I have seen how he has transitioned from advertising to films. And of course, there was an influence of him around me in terms of when I wanted to do something related to film censor. And both Nitesh and his wife Ashwini Iyer Tiwari was also a director. So they were somewhere around me, or I've seen them both moving from advertising to the films. So being around them, talking to them, the other friends of mine who work with them also as writers, I've seen them, how they all work. And there was an influence of, at some point of time, someday I would like to take that transition from advertising to films. And one of the evenings when Nitesh and we were talking, and I showed my interest that, I want to move to long form and after advertising. And that, I think it was just before COVID, when the COVID happened. This is like just a few months before that. And just before COVID, Nitesh once called me one day and he said, what, I want you to read a script. And I wasn't sure that he wanted me to read a script for what reason. I think we just want an opinion. Like sometimes he just bounces ideas or thoughts to us. And I was like, okay, you want me to read a script and give you an opinion. So I read the script with that mindset that, okay, what is it, what the script is all about, and what we can do, what he can do, how we should make it another.
But it never struck you it could be for you?
No, never. So I read the script. I gave him a call and I told him that, what, I like the world. I think the script, the world is very nice. It's funny. It's a story about your friends and all that. And I gave him a watch it. What, you just met Chichori. And a story about friends and it's about boys and it's coming out of his story kind of thing. And I don't think so you should make it. And he laughed. And he told me, what, do you like it? I said, I like it. I love it. But I'm telling basically, what if you have to make it? And the first first few minutes, I couldn't believe it because we have that relationship, we crack jokes and we say things to each other. And I was surprised. I was like, I thought he's joking, and I was like, come on, whatever. It's not true. You can't be. And he's like, I'm genuinely asking, would you like to make it?
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, why won't I? Like, I love it. I would love to. And then how it started, then he said, okay, let me figure this out. Then he spoke to our other producer, Sid Roy Kapoor, Ronnie Screwwala, and that's how it started. And then COVID happened. And then lockdown happened, the film went to limbo. We were not sure what is happening, whether it will happen or not happen. So the film was... we didn't know what to do with it, to be honest, because producers were interested and we all knew that films will happen, but this is the script to go with or not, or what happens. We were not sure. So we were all just patient and it went on for some time, and by, I think, 6-8 months of lockdown, Nitesh called me once again and he told me, what if the film goes digital? And it's like, I had no idea about it, what he means by going digital. And I was like, listen, whatever it is, I like the story and I would like to make something. So
But initially, you wanted it to be a theatrical release.
it was never my choice, first of all. I never thought about it like I wanted to be theatrical or non-theatrical on that. I thought like it's just a film to be made. It's a story to be said.
Mm.
That was my approach. That it's a story which I need to say it, and I have to say it in all honesty. That was my intent.
Okay.
Whether it happens as a theatrical or at that time I didn't know OTT, like clearly what does it mean to be OTT original, or whether it to be a series or something, I was not too sure about it. And I trusted Nitish on that, and he said, okay, what if it goes OTT original? And I was like, okay, whatever, I will make it. And that's the journey of the film started, and then it went to multiples. And like I think Hotstar just came in picture, and they decided to make the film with us. Most difficult part of a film is to get the right cast.
Mm.
And after COVID, there were a lot going on, like who's a bankable cast, non-bankable cast, this cast, that cast, how should we approach it, and stuff like that. And thankfully, I had great producers to back me with what my vision was. My vision was to get fresh faces and get good actors to do it. And they were very much aligned into that thought. Sid, Ronnie, Nitesh, Star Studios, all of them. And that's why we got a very young, fresh cast. And I think it had an advantage because all of them were very young and they didn't came from any baggage, and they all got along very well. They became friends. And that's what you can see in the film, that the relationship looks like more pure, and like it looks like they are one team. So yeah, so that's how the film happened. And making you also know, I know it was not easy. It was not easy because the film started just after COVID. So we were still getting used to the new normal, working in certain with mask, and like we shot the film in the monsoon, so challenges of the monsoon. We shot entire Bombay. We had a lot of locations to shoot. So yeah, the film had its own challenges, but I think when I look back and I feel they're all worth it. They all were learnings. On your first film, more than joy of just making a film, there's joy of understanding and learning a lot about yourself, a lot about how the whole work happens. And there's a very nice line that people say about the films that there's certain things on films you don't choose, the film choose for itself.
Yeah.
And I think that all happened. What film choose for itself, and then I think that it turned out really well. In opinion of others and in my own standards, I would say, like, yeah, I had few things which I wanted to correct, which I feel that good I didn't, because those are things which I have learned from and which will help me when I do next.
Yeah, because nothing prepares you for the worst.
Yeah.
It's just how things come your way, and then you have to accept them. So was there something in the film or some experience? I'm sure there were thousands of experiences, but any one particular experience which you were not at all prepared for, but you're very fortunate that you had that experience. Is there something? Is there any one particular experience?
So as you see, like in the films, because there are a lot of departments working together, and there are a lot of coordination and cooperation which needs to be done.
Yeah.
I always felt that before doing the film, I was not too sure that I have in me that I could think that fast, and I could be so patient and in life. As such, I'm very impatient as a person. I get like I want to know what is happening, how it's happening, where it's happening. I just want to be on top of things, and that, like, I'm very prepared as a director. I always like to prep. And I prep hardcore. Like, I'm a believer of hard prep. So
you like to plan things.
I like to plan things. I like to
spontaneity is not for you.
Yeah, I'm more like a planner. I need to be planned. I will go with the spontaneity, but I need to have plan A.
Yeah, but you need a backup plan. Yeah, or you need backing of plans.
Correct. So I was very, very that kind of a person. But particularly on this film, and it happened that there were a lot of things which you have to do spontaneously, because shift of locations, things, actors, certain departments, something or the other. Because we are working with a tight team, and it was first for me, so it was challenging for me to be on. I have to be on top of things, like, okay, maybe I have planned it this way, it's not going to happen this way. So you have to be like, you have to prepare with something else. You have to be quick. So you have to be a quick thinker. You have to be very patient. You have to understand that maybe certainly people will not be on the same pace where you are. People may not be thinking the way you are thinking, or maybe not thought the way you thought about it. So, yeah, in that way, you have to patiently work it out. Like you have to find solutions to things and see what you can do on that. How you can make the use of the day best. So that is something which I learned on this film very particularly, that, you know what, however hard you try, however prepared you are, you can't be prepared for it. Like film gives you challenges, everything. You have locked the location, everything's perfect, you're paid for it, your permission, stuff like that. If you come that days, something has happened and location's not working for you.
That's
Yeah.
God's plan.
That's God's plan. Then and you can't waste a day. You have to shoot your scene somewhere. You have to make that day like fruitful. You have to productive. So that reason you have to find a solution at that particular time. Okay, this day, how I'll make the most of it. So at that time you think smartly, okay, you know what, put them into rickshaw, put them into a cafe, put them in a car, have this conversation in the car, shoot that.
Yeah.
If it's raining, we can't shoot them walking, we can shoot them talking in a car or cafe. So we have done those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they say that creativity is very random. It can never be structured.
Yeah.
And that also brings me to this another question, that because creativity, in my opinion also, creativity can never be structured. You cannot fit creativity in a box.
Yeah.
So how much of a role does any sort of education play when it comes to talking about creativity? Because education is more like a structured process. And it is very important also at the very same time. But creativity is a very random process, and it is something that you have inbuilt in you. So how do you weigh them?
I feel like any kind of education is basically, it's a data feed into your machine.
Okay.
So whatever you are studying, reading, whether you read newspaper, a magazine, or a book, or anything, it's kind of something which goes in your head and stays. So when
It's information.
it's information, right? It's a data, it's information. So when you're thinking, when you're saying that creative part of me, it's like creative juices are flowing, what is happening? It picks up from those data, small things, the small information which has been there. And it forms in it's in its own way and comes out. Like, for example, you have read a line about somebody, or some quote, or some poem from somewhere, some line.
Yeah.
Now, when you have to say that to somebody, if you want to compliment somebody, you will choose that particular line from that part and pass it on to that person. Now, somebody will say, "Oh, how creative! Like, how creatively you put this." But it happened that you had that information in your head somewhere. You just thought that it is an opportunity to take that thing and bind them together and just give it. And that's what exactly did. So yeah, creativity happens randomly. It's a random occasion. You didn't come plan to compliment somebody. You didn't come plan to say something to somebody. It just happened. But it came from where? It came from where all this, like, I think for any creative person, for whoever wants to do film or writing or anything, they have to read.
Right.
I have realized very late in life, I was never a reader before. And I wish I could have known when I was growing up. But I used to hear a lot. I used to hear a lot of radio, a lot of films and talk shows, and watch a lot of documentaries and stuff. I was not a reader, so I was well averse what is happening. I still read newspaper. I read newspapers and understand. So I'm well aware. But I think that for doing anything creative or anybody in life, it's very important to read.
Yeah.
So read as much as you can. It's not that you have to read novels, you have to read John Grisham, you have to read.
They go hand in hand, creativity with education.
Yeah.
Right. So this it's no new knowledge, or it's nothing new when I say that this industry is a place of uncertainty. So when you step into such industry, what keeps you actually going? I'm sure it's purpose, because purpose speaks so much louder than any chaos or any words. But still, so if you want to send a message to somebody who asks you that this industry is so uncertain, then why are you still in this industry? So how do you give them an answer?
To answer that, I feel, see, nothing is certain. Like, you leave home, pick a car, and get stuck on a traffic jam, and anything can happen in that traffic jam. We all know what happened recently.
Yeah.
So there's nothing certain. You can't predict anything. Nothing is predictable. Uh, in terms of professional life or like you're working in any kind of field, you can't be 100% sure or guarantee that okay, my job will satisfy, or I'll be in this job forever, whatever. Uh, what you have to understand is, from this whole what is uncertainty about, it's like it's time consuming. It is not that it's not going to happen. It will happen when it's meant to happen. So it's uncertain because we are feeling that
because it's not happening now.
now. That is the problem. The problem is that it's a timeline which you have fixed in your head. I've already waited for like 3 years and still I'm not getting a film. It's so uncertain. I've pitched so many, but it is not meant to. But maybe this is not a script which is meant to happen for you. It's not the film which is supposed to happen for you. So you can't be like that, this industry is certain. You have to wait and you have to see the greatest of the directors, the biggest of the directors. James Cameron took like whatever, how many years to make Avatar? Yeah. He could have made so many films, but that was the film which he wanted to make. It's like that. Like Sanjay Dutt doing Munda Bhai. Raju Irani waited for years to get Shah Rukh or whoever to do the film. But after years, she said, Sanjay Dutt is supposed to meant to do Munda Bhai. So it's not uncertain. It is just that it's when and how it has to happen. It will happen. And you can't decide because you are saying it's uncertain because you have a certain timeline, a deadline in your head.
Would you like to sip your coffee?
Yeah, thank you.
There are a lot many original and fabulous scripts that keep getting shelved. And there are remakes that keep getting approved. And we see a lot of remakes, but we're missing out on a lot of great, absolutely original content.
Yeah.
Do you actually think there's a dearth of talent in Bollywood, or is the story something else? I wouldn't like to take names, but right from the beginning of some great music composers, some great filmmakers, we have made a lot of remakes rather than original scripts, and we are very satisfied and very happy with what we've done. But what goes on behind?
So, I would say there's definitely not dearth of talent in this industry. There are way too talented, fabulous, fantastic writers and creators in our country at this point of time. Of course, the percentage of remakes are more than the originals. They're still originals, but the percentage is higher. The percentage is higher because I think we have to understand it is not only a people catering or it's not a audience catering business. It's also a business in a way. It's not only creative satisfaction, it's also commercial satisfaction, which go hand in hand. So sometimes what happens, like how people approach is that this is tried and tested and it has worked. So people think that if maybe there's certain people who are thinking this way, that even if it's worked in a certain way, why not create this, which also allows them to have that commercial safety net so which is there.
The risk-taking ability is less.
Yes. So that is the reason I think there are a lot of people who are making remakes. Because of that, we are feeling the dearth of it. But still, if you see that a lot of OTTs are creating a lot of original stuff. And still very lot of original films are made.
So, we have a segment on our podcast called The Clap Show. We put forth a few questions. Whatever way you choose to answer, you can answer
Okay.
in that. Can I ask you those questions, sir?
Okay, I'm a little nervous.
So, nothing that will make you uncomfortable.
No.
Define Mr. Abhishek Sinha in one word
In one word.
or a line.
Uh, Sorry, it's so difficult to tell you something about yourself.
So you can sip coffee.
I have to say discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a nice choice. Who's the director of your house?
It was my house is my wife.
What kind of stories do you think India needs to tell more today?
I think India needs to tell more story about. I don't know how to choose this. Like people will say we have. There are a lot of like female achievers which we need to do. Like
I remember when we were talking, you had shared about one script that you had written, which was about female achievers.
yeah. So I think there's lot which can be said. Just it's not about I feel that how they have made the difference, how they have colla- contributed to the society. That some stories should be said about that, about
Okay. Those stories.
those stories. I still feel that should be said.
Hmm. So, if your life was a film, it would be titled as.
Trust the process.
Okay. Who has been your biggest anchor during your filmmaking journey?
My wife.
Lovely. One actor you'd love to direct?
Uh, Unfortunately, between the three of them, two are not there. So I wanted to direct Irfan Khan. Was definitely one of my top choices. So like if I would have loved to work with Irfan Khan. Second was Rishi Kapoor. I had loved him since I was growing up. So I always loved Rishi Kapoor. I thought he was so good as his comic timings, his romantic hero, as a drama. So and Ranbir Kapoor today.
Okay.
Yeah.
A director you'd love to have as your director?
Director Rishikesh Mukherjee.
Oh, lovely. If you could remake any one classic, which one would you dare to touch?
I won't like to touch any.
You wouldn't?
No, because I just enjoyed watching them, the way they have been made, and they're so close to me. I don't want to like touch them. And if I have to, as a classic, if I have to, I would love to make Shawshank Redemption, which is like one of my closest films.
That's
Like,
beautiful.
yeah,
Dream big.
yeah.
Ads or films? Where's the real drama?
Real drama films. Yeah.
Mr. Irfan Khan or Mr. Nasiruddin Shah?
I would pick Irfan Khan.
Describe your directing style in a word.
I always say this to my team, and it's all like it's a fun process. It's supposed to be enjoyable. हम rocket में उड़ा रहे.
I remember this, sir. I remember this. One good quality every director should have.
Acceptance and ability to listen to, like, more. I think every director should listen to people and people around them, and should have a clarity to what to choose or what to drop.
Okay. Have you ever felt like kicking out someone from the set, but you just can't?
Many times.
So would you like to share?
No.
Your inner voiceover when the cast or crew is testing your patience.
मेरी ही गलती.
What's your take on the nepotism versus talent debate?
I don't think so. Anything is. I think they both are okay in their own way.
Hmm.
Uh, I have nothing against nepotism, and I think audience knows what they want, and if there's talent, people will survive. If there's not,
They
then
will
they're
not.
out.
One film with unmatched direction.
One film is unmatched direction. There's a lot of them. I always feel uh, like all Rishida films, I feel there was unmatched direction, that everything has been said by so ease. Uh, those so well crafted stories.
Made for all age groups.
All age groups. The stories used to be so up. You never lose the your emotion with or in your relationship with the character.
Yeah.
कि आप पूछ नहीं देख रहे हो घर कैसा है, क्या है, नहीं पहना है, कपड़े, makeup, hair. Nothing matters to you. You just watch that particular character.
Yes.
The way it's been done. So I think that is great direction. Like when you believe your actors made your actors so much connect with your audience, that rest everything is not needed, not important. And I think all his movies has been like that.
Which one is your favorite?
Very difficult. Chupke Chupke is one of my favorite. Yeah, Bawarchi.
लिट्टी चोखा और वड़ा पाव.
Litti Chokha.
Attending film school is mandatory for filmmaking, true or false?
False.
3 films every aspiring filmmaker should watch.
3 films aspiring filmmakers should watch. I would say Good Will Hunting. Then Shawshank Redemption to watch. Then there's a Spanish film called Emiris Peros to watch.
Okay.
So yeah.
We've got our names.
Godfather. Watch Godfather. Yeah.
Godfather. One actress you secretly have a crush on.
For the longest, I had. I like Jennifer Lawrence a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's there on your speed dial?
My wife.
She's also your best friend, right?
Yes, she is.
One fashion trend you want to bring back.
I think the worst fashion trend I'll be saying being funny.
Being funny.
Yeah. People have lost a touch to sense of humor.
Because they're so serious now.
Yeah, I think that people are more serious. I think this humor is something which people can bring. Like, I think that's very, like, funny man has always got the most attraction.
And there's no point taking life seriously.
Correct.
It takes you nowhere.
Correct.
Shyam Benegal or Gurudutt?
Gurudutt.
So, any favorite film by Gurudutt?
Pyasa.
Pyasa. Which brings us to our last question. The best advice you got, which has stayed with you?
Don't take yourself too seriously.
So that was it. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I hope you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I spoke too much, I feel.
No. So we really had a great time. And it's going to be a treat for an audience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you, guys.